All right, guys, welcome to another episode of this segment. Last week I told you guys that this series is going to have two episodes, and now this is the second part of the episode. And God, you should see me while editing this podcast. It is so nice. I love it so much. And just like the first one, the second one is as filled with value as the first one. So you've got to listen to the end. You've got to listen to the end, actually. And you'll be the judge of it when you are done. You'll be the judge of it when you are done. So let's welcome Tolu Ajayi to the second episode of University Life Podcast. At University Life Podcast, our vision is to illuminate the path to academic excellence, personal growth, and professional success for Nigerian university students. We envision a future where every student, regardless of their chosen field of study, embraces their unique journey with confidence, finding inspiration and empowerment in our vibrant community. As we continue to grow, our goal is to empower the next generation of leaders, thinkers, and change makers. Join us in this inspiring vision as we navigate the world of university life one episode at a time. Based on everything we've been discussing, you've been mentioning God a lot, and that shows you're a very spiritual person. So,
No. No. The thing is, we are acknowledging God in what we do,
okay.
but the Bible will say, "Let him that taketh his stand, take it less for."
Yeah.
So anyone coming to be, I also have things I'm also trying to work on. It's a journey of faith. We keep on growing.
Yes.
So I'm not being tagged as, so yeah, it's God's grace. It's God's grace.
Okay, tell us about your fellowship. Are you in any leadership position? If you are, how do you manage people as an executive? And I think you've mentioned how you cope with. Yes. You mentioned something about if you're in class, don't think about fellowship, and if you're in fellowship, don't think about class. Please, I'd like you to talk more about that, starting from the fellowship you attend. Are you in any leadership position? How do you manage people and managing school and fellowship? If they clash, which are you going for?
Wow, managing school and fellowship if they clash. All right, with that, I'll give a story. About I like painting relatable stories so that I don't really believe in just giving theories. When people hear, okay, this guy have passed through this thing and God helped him, you understand, it builds up faith. Yeah, but now let's go to managing being in school. I think I've talked about being in school and your mind not being in church. Yeah. Where I talk about pay full attention, get everything the lecturer is saying, take notes, ask questions, and everything and all. That's just practically what I'm not saying. You should drop your Christianity while in class or disclaimer, or you get what I'm trying to say. And also, yeah, let me also balance. Don't be in school and your mind is in business too. Yeah, don't be in school, don't be in church and your mind is in business too. Yeah. Do you get it? But you can be in business and your mind is in church. Yeah.
Okay.
So, with you being in church and your mind not being in school, now this is what I'm trying to say. You came to church for a reason. You came to church to receive a blessing. There's a blessing that has been apportioned. There's a grace that has been apportioned for you to receive in that fellowshipping for that day. So when you're in fellowship, when you're in Bible study, make sure you put your full attention into it. So in the long run, it will not be a waste. Know at the back of your mind that some people did not attend that fellowship so they can read. And this is a problem I had at a point. Let me just mention this too. My roommates then in part 1, part 2, they call me 7 to 7. I live on Sundays. I leave hostels around 7 and return 7 p.m. For people that attend my church and for people that know the church or some other churches too. And some of the things that actually baffles me a lot is that whenever I'm going like this, there are like 3 of my other classmates that lives in my blog then. Now, it's just Satan just trying to do it intentionally. These guys are Muslims. And just whenever I'm going to church, I see them reading. God, I beg. God, I beg. When you are in church, ensure you actually get that blessing that can make that your race, that can turn into grace. Don't go to church, don't go to fellowship and make it a waste. Without receiving what you are meant to receive at that time. Pray fervently to receive that grace. There's grace in the place of prayer, sufficient. He said, what need less pain with bear, all because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Do you get? So when you're in church, don't let your mind be buying and selling. Give the full attention to it. Don't just come because your coordinator will ask, or your gen sec would ask, or your unit leader would ask, or the pastor may actually ask or check up on you and may tag you as unserious, or because they may report you to probably a close relative or something. If you are doing that, you are coming to worship man. The maximum reward a man can give you to appreciate your efforts or to tag you as being a good member. Oh, the person really means fellowship and everything and all. That's not guarantee, or that's not an equivalent. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's not an equivalent.
It is
So
not equivalent to yes.
yeah, the maximum rewards man or your fellowship leaders can give you is to appreciate your efforts in saying, you attend fellowship, you really miss this in fellowship and all. But that is not equivalent to the rewards God has for you. So if you are fellowshipping because of man, you will miss it out and you may make it may seem miserable. You may be seen everywhere, but in the long run, nowhere. Do you get? You may be seen everywhere, but in the long run, nowhere. You may be doing all this in fellowship, you may attend every, but when you are not going there intentionally, when you are not going there having a request in your heart that you want God to help you meet, it may be a waste in the long run. So that was what I was trying to say, that when you're in school, be in school, when you're in fellowship, be in fellowship, so you can receive that blessing. You are living that fellowship with something new that would help you. Do you get? So that when you start opening that books, you may not have to go to the old chapter. Is that particular thing that you pay attention to that would actually come out in your test, in your so that assignment you are going to do, you do it perfectly, what you're expected to do, so that provision, God will send help to you, that guidance you need, that discerning spirit, just like the children of Issachar, that understand of what to do part time, God will grant it unto you. And all these things comes in the place of fellowship and prayer. But if you've gone there, it's somewhat surprising. People come to prayer meeting and they are silent. I know the okay, I'm praying inside and everything. Okay, that's fine. So far you're not deceiving yourself. But it's needless. It's a waste. You coming to prayer meeting, you coming to Bible study, and you're not maximizing that. Have this mindset that you are coming there to receive something special that would help you in that journey, and that would actually help you to have the right mindset. I don't know if I answered your question.
Of course.
On
Yes.
the screen. All right.
Of course.
All right.
Are you in any leadership position in fellowship? If yes, how do you manage people?
To the glory of God, from my part 3, I was made an ESCO in my campus fellowship. And I was made the assistant organizing secretary then in OU campus. And something happened. No, not something happened. Like, to me, it was like a shock. It was like a surprise because it's not something I was expecting. It was not something. And what happened? We did like a state. Okay, there was this state, in OU, just like one of the campuses in Osun State. So we have like a central executive council, let me say it that way. We call it state ESCOs, that is in charge of all the campuses throughout.
Yes, in the state, yes.
In the state, yeah. I was assistant organizing secretary in OU, and we have five ESCOs in the states that manages everything, and so it came as a shock. I was announced, or don't let me say announced. I was probably announced. I was chosen as God would want it.
It always comes as a shock, yes.
As the PRO of that state, of the state ESCO, as the publicity secretary. So, someone just coming into fellowship responsibility and being given a very huge task. It was not something easy. Coupled with academics, actually coupled with, I also want to make money. So that was where I can say the real deal started from. There's a responsibility you perform on campus. There's another responsibility you actually perform when there are special programs.
Yes.
When there are special programs. And this will make me to mention something. The other time I said something about me, about in Christendom, we only come out to actually talk about, we only testify about
about the
things
good side, the testimony of the
and
good
we leave out some ways where we feel, okay, I did something, where God is trying to teach you something, and we leave it out. And when another person is passing through that experience, they feel probably God is being unfair to them, or they feel probably they are missing something out, and that do discourage a lot of people. They just feel, what this person keeps on saying is this and this and this and this happened. I'm the one experiencing this. God is unfair to me. And that's actually affected a lot of people. There was this occurrence that happened at while I was stated school. So there was this exam we were meant to have. So it was like we're meant to travel to a particular campus within Osun State. If I can remember, I think it was the Uni Osun. I can't remember the annex again. Probably Okuku. I can't remember again perfectly. Or Ire. I can't remember. Or I can't remember it. Or probably Federal Poly Ire. But we went for a verbal program. I had an exam the following day. I had an exam the following day. Now, I've checked, and also this also help. Please, when you're also checking the trend of past questions, also prepare for the worst.
Mm.
So,
So as not to see future
uh,
questions.
you get so as not to see we were not expecting this, and it did happen that particular year. So, I've glanced through 3 to 4 years past question, and we've seen the trend. There's a particular topic that's very hard, and we've seen this man has always brought it up as an optional stuff for like the last three. So I did not really pay attention into it.
Until
They're
it became
saying
compulsory.
if it actually comes out, I'm not going to do it and everything. So I I I was still reading that stuff. So we went to the Berber program. While coming back, we came back around that kind of 11. So the president too, she was a student on OU campus then. So two of us were returning. Bus stop entering around maybe 10 or 10:30. Then is all these cabs that start entering. So by the time we actually came back, I think it was around 11. No bus again. When we came back to me, I was staying on campus then. She was staying outside campus. So she proceeded. I dropped, and
She
she went
proceeded
ahead
with
with the
the friend.
bus. I don't
Okay.
think I've even shared this openly. In fact, most of the things I shared, aside for the one I talked about, the SSC 201, which I just give as a testimony in church once, I don't think I've shared most of the things I'm saying right now openly. Yeah.
Hmm.
So this particular one, I dropped at campus gate. Then I took a cab inside. I dropped at SUB. That particular day, it was raining heavily, and I was staying at Awo then. There was this joy I had that at least I wasn't coming from like a party. Or I want to do
Yeah.
something. I don't attend parties, but I was saying that I want to do the work of God. So there was this joy. From SUB to Awo was a long distance, and it was raining heavily. It was raining heavily. I was laughing. I was glad in it. I walked down there inside the rain and everything and all. I think when I got back to probably I take hot tea or something, I can't remember again. So I slept and I had exam the following day. Now, I'm not blaming, I'm not saying it was because I went for church program that affected, but I'm saying this because we sometimes do not mention the other side of things. And I'm saying this was my fault of neglecting one particular topic. But in the same vein, me doing God's works came through for me. We did this exam, you already know what happened. The question we all thought would not come out was number
Came
one compulsory
a
question.
compulsory.
And it carried a lot of marks.
Hmm.
This particular exam, we finished it and people were crying. We
Hmm.
finished it and grown men, these students that were far older than us, crying like, what we have. People did carry that particular course. People did actually carry it and everything. But, there's just this assurance that, okay,
I've not
I
got
went to do the work of God. I was diligent, but I know I had then God Satan might want to use that to discourage me of it's because of the work of God that I went to that gave me the C I had. Do you get? To the glory
yeah.
of God, I had a C. And me having a C was still a miracle. Do you get? Satan may make it in such a way to discourage me, but I did not allow that setting. And this is me just saying specifically that there are some times that and most importantly, God will let me learn a lesson there of what studying to show yourself approved.
Hmm.
That may just be don't say you want to overview this and this may not come out, this and this may not actually come out and everything. Now, sorry, I don't know if I've gone outside the scope of the question, but I do
No,
hope you
no,
enjoy my
no.
story. I learned something from it.
I'm also learning from this as well. Seriously.
God really helped actually, and you know, God during my stay, I handed over while I was in part 5, and something happened while I was in part 5. While I was on IT, I already wrote to the coordinator, also doubles as the president, then that I want to hand everything over. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a state handing over. So I said I want to hand everything over. My state executive
And
position,
campus and
my campus executive position. I'm no longer interested. What I said to myself is that I want to use this last year to actually focus on my life, to actually focus on my dreams, to actually focus on a lot of things. And as you know, and that's the mistake like a lot of us make. We think adding God to the baggage will make it more heavier. Whereas if implemented well, it make it more easier.
mm,
Yeah. You know, sometimes people would say, me, I'm not a movie person though, but I just want to use it as an example. People would say, coming to fellowship or coming to ESCO prayer and meeting will reduce their time of study, but they never thought of them reducing the time they used to watch movie. They never thought of them reducing the time they used to play. We feel we bringing God into the bargain makes it more heavier. Why still holding on to some other things that are not
that
necessary? Some things that do
that
not matter in the next 5 years.
that
God
could
is
have
a
been done.
lifetime pursuit. God is a lifetime this thing. And that's what I can tell you specifically that the opportunity you have to serve God while on campus is a very good one. And you may not have so much, you may not have there's so much position again. When I'm talking about, okay, now let me rephrase this. You may not have so much opportunity like that again to really have time
Mm,
to be deeply involved in, okay, we want to do this, want to go for evangelism, want to go for this, want to go for, once you are out, you know, for 9 to 5 jobs in a place like Lagos, staying in mainland, you wake up around 3, 4 to catch up, going to Lekki. Till you come back around
of course.
7. The only time you may just have is probably your midnight prayers, your prayers in between, you listen to sermons in between, and also and probably Sunday services. But it's unlike fellowship periods that you just have to be there. You see people gathering together, you see people coming together, you fellowship in the presence of God. So please utilize it very well. So while I was there, I already said I was not going to do it again. So while I was on IT, I got the announcement that while, okay, I'm not sure if I'm not sure they've done the state handing over there, but I already told them I'm no longer interested in anything again. I told them, and that I did faithfully to the glory of God, that I'm going to take a back seat, not holding any responsibility, but that do not stop me from still coming to church early. Yeah, because I am an usher in church. Yeah,
Okay.
and that did not stop me. If there's a little thing I need to do, I still stand up to do it and everything and all, just to ensure things keeps on glowing. But I don't want a particular position again. You know, it's something I've been doing for
Mm,
like some years, and I just let me just see how it's going to be. Do you get? And from
yeah.
the beginning, actually, it was something I enjoyed. It was something I enjoyed, but I thank God I yielded actually, and I enjoyed it more after yielding. And I said I was not going. So while I was in my IT, I just called. In fact, I remember that particular day. My phone was in my pocket. We having evening service at church at the Lagos branch church I attend, and in fact, I was at the entrance. Like I was the usher place at the entrance that very day. So after the service, I just checked my phone. I saw missed call. I checked my WhatsApp. I saw congratulations. Congratulations for what? I said, congratulations, you are the new general secretary. I was like, oh, like I said in my mind that me, I already know what
Oh,
I actually want to do. So I told the coordinator then, I already told you I'm no longer interested. I don't want to do this again. And in fact, I had series of call with the pastor because OE operates as like a campus church. So we have
Yes,
like
yes.
a pastor, and I really appreciate, this, they are very wonderful, like, a very big appreciation to mommy and daddy or Moti, yeah. So I called our pastor then, and I explained to him, sir, I'm not interested in this and this and this, and it was not giving me a yes or no. Do you understand? He was just
Yeah.
saying, he even made reference to, even himself, he never wanted to accept that this in pastoral call himself. But me, at that particular point, my mind was already made up. I was still saying no. In fact, a very highly placed person, our patron, is now outside this country. He actually, when the coordinator realized that, okay, he spoke to him. I think he spoke to him, and he called upon me that, why am I not accepting this thing? Why am I not doing it? So I told him, sir, it's not this and this, and he's actually this is professor in my school, but he's a member of our church. So, and when it comes to God's work, you can actually
Mm.
force, you can't force people.
Yes.
So I'm being duted a lot, and I'm doing this just for probably someone in my shoe. I really want to believe that there will be different people with different intention
Perspective.
listening to this thing, and I really do hope they'll be able to pick something they really want. That's the reason I'm being explicit with some of these things. People that knows me knows that I'm a very secretive person. In fact, someone once lived close to me, and told, like, we lived together, and he said, like, something may be going through my mind. I may be processing something, and you would not know. That's just it. Do you get? So? But I'm being explicit. I'm being explicit just to help someone out there, and I really do hope this actually helps. That happens, and whenever I come to church, I will see the general secretary that has handed over. It appears to me as if I'm the one still holding him down on campus. Then he will still be able to take announcement. Okay, we do our service. I'm trying to say this for people that attend my church, me saying announcement. So we do our service ourselves. We have a pastor who is a lecturer. So he will still be able to take announcement during services. He will still be able to do this and all. For me, I saw as if I'm holding extra burden on someone. But see, I still feel, well, I've been in all this thing before, and this time around, let me just take a back seat. Do you get?
Yes.
So for me, it seems as if I'm also in a way affecting him to actually move on. Yeah, because there's this mantra I always have in life, that as a leader, if after you've left there, things are not working perfectly fine, you failed. Do
Mm.
you get? So it's not only when you are there. If people you're handing over to, they're not doing well, you failed. So I just feel, I'm holding him down, but that did not still change my mind. I must be sincere. Until a particular night, God has diverse ways of speaking to us.
Yes. Yes.
Until a very particular night, I just watch a clip. I don't think that clip was up to 2 minutes or 5 minutes. And what was the clip? A man narrating, and I just jumped on it. Oh, a man narrating on how he died. Do you get? But
Yes.
God sent him back. His body was laying lifeless, I think, for some minutes, and he realized that. So this is the whole essence of man. Do you understand? Like, he
Yes.
explained in such a way that when he was narrating, I think I was moved to tears when I was narrating. Like, I may not be able to say it more exactly again, that whatever you have, like, see the end of everything. He was lifeless. Was everything, his achievement, everything was zero. He was just trying to say, whatever you have without God is nothing, and all and all. And that really struck my mind. And I never knew God was being intentional about it, actually. That really struck my mind, actually. And you can't believe, I could not sleep. I've had people saying they could not sleep overnight. I could not sleep overnight. I was waking up intermittently. I was waking up almost every period. I would take a deep sleep. a deep sleep care. I would take a very deep sigh and still wake up because I was struggling it with my spirit that no. I would not know that was the last opportunity God gave to me. Now I'm being explicit about all this thing because I'm trying to. I've not shared this openly anywhere. I'm being explicit about all this thing because someone else may also be in this show. So I was struggling with it. My roommate realized, and I think we discussed about it just probably briefly or something. So I was struggling so much with my sleep, and it's because I understand the responsibility that comes with it and everything.
Mm,
Yeah. So I know it's not something I should just do. Probably they say you should come and take a particular position and you are happy. Probably nowadays people will be called to actually take a particular position and they will be laughing. See, it's an achievement. I understand what is into it. I
is it?
understand what I need to actually measure up to. And a place like OAU, our fellowship stuff in Manchester, where we are, it's over 100. Do you understand? You understand the people you have to lead
Yes.
and everything. And I prayed. I told God, okay, please, if all this issue, if all this series was actually from you, please give me this last sign again. Let someone that has never spoken to me about this thing call me after church and tell me how far. Like someone that has never spoken to me about it before. Then I went to church. Now in the morning, it was still so huge in my heart. I told my coordinator I would love to see him after the service. It was on a Sunday morning. And I never knew God made me pass through that thing overnight because that was the last opportunity he was giving me. Now, they were already they've already submitted because definitely it lasted for I think weeks. And the work of God will have to actually go on. That's something
Yeah.
about God. With or without a man, the work of God will go on. Do you get?
Yes.
So they've already submitted
The name of
I
another
think
person.
a rearrangement of okay, they will have to shift this particular person to this person, introduce two new executive and everything. Yeah. I don't want to go into details about it. So my coordinator said I should tell him now. But because I know my mind has not been made up for this thing, and I was still waiting for the last sign. Do you understand?
Yes.
I said I will see him after the fellowship. He was beckoning on me as she said now. I said, no, sir. Let's see after fellowship. Because I don't want to say something and I will say, no, I don't mean it. I always love to be true to my words. So during the service, the pastor made the announcement again. The pastor made the announcement, but it was not open that, okay, so people should see him after service. It's clicked in my mind that that's one of the reasons that they want to do some kind of a rearrangement. Do you get?
Yes.
So all those ones did not still move me actually. Did not still really move me. But I think after that, I went to the altar to pray. I prayed so deeply about it and everything. And I got a conviction actually. So as I said, it was just like the last rope of mercy. God was just giving that. And there's this thing about surrender. If you are not surrendering to God, you will definitely regret. God will not force you. It will give a will, but when you turn your back to God, imagine God turning your back to you too. Who will suffer more?
Mm.
So it was a very difficult one for me, and I had to. I cannot remember exactly which event came first or which event happened secondly. Or yeah. So I remember I approached the pastor then and I told him, sir, since in fact I've not even met with my coordinator because I was going from the altar straight to meet the my school pastor then, where he was actually sitting, not my coordinator. The coordinator is student. Remember,
Yes.
I explained it earlier.
Yes.
So then I told him that I was unable to sleep and this and everything and all. But I can't remember which one happened first because that time I think the pastor was speaking with those people he already and they already announced to see him. And I can't remember if I was waiting to see him when the pastor's wife called me, and she has never spoken to me about it before. When the pastor's wife called me and said, Joseph, okay, she actually calls me Tolu. Yeah. So she said, I was there when they announced you as general secretary last semester. What happened? And I had to explain. I was open to her. I was able to explain to her, I said, Ma, I have a business I'm running. I actually want to do this. And there was something I wanted to do then actually spiritually, but this and this and this and everything. And she told me, see, we are serving God. You are not serving man. God needs your faithfulness. If you're unable to actually meet up to some certain things, God will actually understand. Men may not understand, but God will understand. Let's go and let God. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
I had to actually she encouraged, and for real, that was like the sign I was waiting for. I think that came first. I think that came first. If I can remember. One came I can't remember exactly again. So when she called me after prayers, then I had to explain to her, saying, Ma, yeah, it's something I also want to do, that I was unable to sleep during the night. I want to go and meet this pastor and everything and all and all. And I went to meet the pastor and I had to actually tell him that I was unable to sleep during the night, and God was pressing it towards my heart, like sorry and everything and all, and now I'm ready to actually pick it up. He prayed for me and everything and all. I can remember, and that was it. But and one of the reasons why it was hard for me initially is, okay, now part 5, we in a way restricted our timetable in such a way that we had our classes in the morning, like 10 sometimes we may be done with our class. Do you get?
Yeah.
For a particular day. For example, if that day is a fellowship, I stay off campus. If that is a fellowship day, my brother, I will have to stay around 5 p.m. from 10, sometimes from 12 on campus for me to be able to stay till the fellowship period. This was what I passed through, and this was some of the things I saw coming. But God actually helped me, and God was faithful. And I can say it was that semester, that particular session, that God granted me this grace of excellence, and I took tutorial for the whole class more than I ever did. In fact, I never took tutorial for the whole class. I did tutorial for the whole class at least probably 5 times or 6 times, where almost 70% of the class gathered to learn. And this is something, after the class, you may say you want to go and relax and do some other things. But I have to stay in school for fellowship, because as the general secretary, you have to be around to take announcements and everything and all and all. And because I know, I've been like this in corporate world, where I know, okay, then I mentioned I was working with a brand then. Techno, yeah. So then I had the privilege of leading around, we call it, although it's more or less like fans though, but we call it ambassadors. So we have like around 20 students in a group. So I to the glory of God, I was able to lead them, and we had a very vibrant community for the brand then. And so I know how I actually manage things. And when, to the glory of God, I was able to do that effectively well, then I was told to hand over OU campus to someone else. And then I was made to actually oversee the whole campus project, covering over, at some point it grew to over 20 campuses. I was in charge, even while I was students. And then my work was not, and some of these campuses have at least an average of 100 students per campus. So this was a project that actually impacted over going to 2,000 to 4,000 students in the whole of Nigeria. And most times my bosses then do not even have time. They just tell me, I trust your judgment, but whatever you do is perfect. So owing to the fact that they were able to trust me, because there have been a track record of me being able to do something well, and I was promoted because, to the glory of God, I was able to do the one on OU campus, and we stood out being the best. In fact, I was even awarded as the best in 2019. I won the award on the campus level as the best campus representative for Technomobile, and I was duly awarded. When I mean duly awarded, I was duly awarded there with a flagship phone, which actually came in a grand style. So it was not a normal casing, a flagship phone came with a butterfly embedded in a crystal as part of
Wow.
the thing. So a lot of goodies actually came alongside with it. Yeah. So I had the experience of managing people, but I know when it comes to spirituality, if you employ such methods, people will see you as being strict. And
Mm.
if you are coming with the gentle stuff,
People
people
will
would
see
also
you
see things
as
will actually
weak.
go wrong. And I'm the kind of, so I can't be in a place and see things going wrong. It just not it does not work perfectly with me. Do you get? So
Yes.
that was one of, and I feel that might have also in a way contributed to me saying, let me just day my day. Do you understand? And everything
Mm.
like that. That was there. And that was one of the, when it comes to spirit, you have to be gentle, not
Yeah.
gentle, but you have to take this dove like stuff. You can't be so as strict as when if these are the right things to do, but that is now where God's wisdom
Comes
actually
in.
comes. And I'm answering this when you talk about managing people.
Managing people. Yeah.
Definitely there will be issues coming up and everything, but you just have to manage it with the wisdom of God. It's not something that will come easy peasy, owing to the fact that that's if not your primary
Assignment.
the primary assignment on that campus. Your primary assignment on that campus is to graduate well. Do you get? So,
Yeah.
and you have people to actually lead, you have people to manage, and sometimes we are humans too. We are not perfect. We may do some things that may not be so right. Yeah, we are humans, but definitely the right to easily adjust, apologize. There have been instances where I call people out and say, I'm sorry if I offended you, like members, I'm sorry if I offended you, I'm sorry if I talked or if you feel, then I made them understand why we had to do some things. And some of them understood actually and said, oh wow, it's fine actually. But when I even realized that the person is not even understanding, I went and apologized because there's something I hold strong in my mind that what's the essence of me going to do the Lord's work if I feel someone have grudges or if I just feel there's a prayer stuff in my there's like something in my heart that will not make my prayer to attend, and that's it boils down to me saying when you are in church, ensure you are in church.
Mm.
Do you get take
Yeah.
away all weight that may actually limit that blessing that make you operate in a sealed heaven. As I earlier said, it was that time that the spirit of excellence just came and I was able to explain. I grasp things faster. Things I think would be a disadvantage ended up being an advantage. So I'm saying this to someone that please surrender to God. It's pace. Again, God can be trusted. I don't know if I've answered your question.
You've answered my question. Wow, that's amazing. Like, I have a lot to like take from this particular segment that you've just concluded. It's a lot, seriously. If not for the time, I would have wanted to like digest it a little longer, but thank you very much for taking your time to explain this as detailed as possible. Like, I'm blessed. It might seem like a religious statement, but I'm actually blessed from this particular segment. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank God. Oh, thanks to God. Yeah, so we can
So,
go on.
yes, moving on.
Were you in a relationship like throughout, and how did he help you? That's if you're in a relationship, and what's your advice for students? What's the
I would have
advice for
begged Nicola
students?
to just sit by because this is this is a podcast we try to just tell students how how they can actually balance their academics with their business or their brands and this. But anyways, it's actually a very integral part.
We all,
I may
we
not
all
go into
we all
details.
have
So let me
priorities.
see.
For some people,
Yeah.
it is relationship, academics, business, and whatever is they're adding to it. So.
Yeah. So was I into a relationship? Okay, firstly, I don't even know which one to answer first. But let me just go as the spirit lead. This is a very big revelation I'm actually making right now. So yeah, I got into a relationship once, and that was my first ever relationship. That was like my first relationship. Throughout my university days, only one relationship, and the relationship was just around, I think, a month thereabouts. And the relationship was not really something I prepared my mind into. I had some dark moments then, and I was just like looking for a circle, and I found myself in the relationship. Emotions actually gripped in. And something very funny about the relationship is that during that relationship, it was a long distance one, and me and the person did not even see. But we actually know one another. We've actually, in a way, known one another for some couple of years. We actually did not see. The person was not even schooling in a geopolitical zone in Southwest. It was a far geopolitical zone, and the like. So, and what ended the relationship? I know that may be your next question. Like, what happened? You want to know what happened, right? As I said, it was not probably something I prepared my mind into it. It was just I had a very dark moment, which I found myself in a situation, and I just feel I need a succor. I need something to hold on to it. Please, disclaimer, when I said I found myself into a situation, it was not something sinful at all. It was just like an emotional stuff. And that one was
And
very
it's
so eye
totally
opening. I even prayed about it. And I just felt at that point I was in a way naive. I just felt going into a relationship or just finding a very close friend would be something that would actually save me from that situation. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I actually made. Yeah. So emotion gripped in, and what ended the relationship? We found out that we were not God's plan for ourselves, alongside some other things. Actually, it was not genotype stuff. It
that's
was not any other thing. Alongside some other things. So we prayed about it and find out. It was a very painful thing, actually, but we had to let go.
in
And
1 month.
yeah, we had to let go. Eh?
In one in 1 month.
You what? Yeah, I had one
In
month.
one
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Things must
So
have
we had to
moved.
let go. We had to let go, and yeah. So it's a scar actually because it's something I should not have done without praying about it first. And this is like an encouragement or like a piece of advice to Christian students or undergraduates. God has a perfect plan for your life. Don't rush things. Don't run before your time. Don't put the is it the cart before the horse, they do say. Don't put the distant cart before the horse. God has a perfect plan for you. Don't rush things. Don't rush things actually. I won't actually advise undergraduates to go into relationship. Just try to think. Yeah, I'm being sincere. I've raised this on my status. If you follow my status, I think I talked about it. Was it last month or thereabouts? I won't advise on undergraduate to go into relationship. Just focus on what you are meant to do part time. There's time for everything. Most people get it right in uni. Don't get me wrong, but the emotional damage, the time wasting, and some other things, especially for a Christian relationship that you definitely know, it's good to actually maintain close friendship. So I actually would advise undergraduate to actually go into relationship, definitely. Especially Christian undergraduate. God has a perfect plan for your life. Just wait till you are done with a phase. In fact, someone said something when I posted that thing on my status, and she said, uh, the will of God in you saying you and someone want to even get along is mostly dealt around purpose. If you guys' purpose are not aligned, just a waste. So you are still in the uni, you don't even know where you are heading to. You don't know your journey the next 5 years. You don't even know if this person will still fit into your purpose. So it's whatever you're actually waiting for outside there. Once you actually get that value, you'll be able to attract whatever you want.
Ah, well, you've heard him. You've heard him. Any to reconcile relationship, I beg, no look am, no look that side at all. I know a lot of people are going to have a different opinion on this one. I'll just leave them to their own opinions. Me, I've gotten what I want to get from this segment, Jerry. Well, thank you for sharing your story to us. It was very nice. It was insightful. A lot, seriously.
So we can go on.
Yes, moving on. What are your career aspirations after? Okay, you've graduated. So, what are your career aspirations after graduation? How do you plan to achieve them? What are the future plans for your brand? You've you promised to tell us more about your brand, so I think the bride is now at the doorstep.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. So I started building a brand from this campus then, and although some things did not work out perfectly, we have to rebrand and everything. And presently we are Traffikate, and this is a very big shout out. And let me just give you a very hint here that whenever you're building a brand, please, your teammates matters a lot. Your God, your idea, your teammates. And it's a very big shout out to my wonderful teammates. In fact, it's more than just Trafficate now. You may not know there's something else we are building. Even in Trafficate, there's more things we are building. So I don't want to say my wonderful teammate at Trafficate only, because it's more than just Trafficate now that we are doing, to the glory of God. Yeah, so a very big shout out to, I want to mention their name. A very big shout out to Favor Babarindi, and a very big shout out to Sheyi Basha. They are awesome team members. If you get to listen to this, I give you your flowers. Thank you very much for being the perfect teammate I can ever ask for. Yeah. So yeah, Trafficate is a brand that we started. What we do basically is we actually give people products at cheap rates, and you can resell. Like, I don't know if you've seen it several times on my status.
Of course,
I
I've
even see
seen
it at the
them.
back end. You try signing up. I saw it at the back end. So, and it's because you've seen
Yeah,
the almost the thing you can't resist that we are doing at Trafficate. And let me explain what
I've
we are actually
actually
trying to.
I've actually gone to search you up on different platforms. I've gone to your Twitter, I've gone to check you out, and I've done a little bit of digging to know more about you and your business. So
Wow. All right, that's amazing. Thanks for for at least
but
thanks. All right, yeah. So what we do at Trafficate is that we actually operate like a discounted website, and not discounted just like in a layman term. So what we do is dropshipping platform where we give people products at cheap rates. Like, a product can be on Jumia, a product can be on Konga, and I do this a lot on my status. I post the comparison. A product can be selling for 30,000, and on Trafficate is around 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. In fact, there's something that happened when we were having sessions with some of our drop shippers. A student from OAU who has sold, if I'm she should be she have sold over 300k worth of goods from Trafficate over.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if I'm right, the last time she was around 200, and that was months ago. Yeah. So, and she's someone that actually buys a lot. She earlier understood the business model. So right now, in fact, it will have been far more than this 300k. And she asked me a question then, and say, like, like asking the CEO directly, like, how do you guys make profit? And she was like, is Trafficate a charity or something? So how do you guys make profit? Like, hope is that you guys are using something that we don't know. What business model are you guys operating? And why she asking that question is because the prices they are seeing on the website is too good to be true. It's too good to be true. And that's the problem we're actually coming to actually solve. We actually give you product at extremely cheap rates to empower students, to empower people generally. You can resell at a much cheaper rate. You can add, for example, a product can be 10K on Traffikate. You can resell at 25,000, even any 50K, 15K this profit on it.
Profit on
And this
it.
is not something we are just trying. There's a lot of testimonials, if you want to sell, people saying they got exactly what they ordered, they made profits, this and this. This the customers are so proud about it and everything, are so happy about the product and everything and all. So we are not selling probably where we are selling inferiors or something or anything. No, we are still giving the same value of what you are trying to get, but we are trying to empower people. We are coming with the Alibaba mindset. You get,
Okay.
we are trying
Yes.
to give
Yes.
people something. I don't want to go into details actually, our business model actually, but we are trying to give people something at a very cheap rate so they can reach. And we also offer, like, we can deliver on your behalf. We also
Okay.
offer payment on delivery. For example, even if the product is 10K and you intend to, and you sell it 30K to your customer, we'll keep your 20K and send it back to you. It's your money, not our money. We'll just
Hmm.
deduct our own price from it to you guys. So
Yes.
that's what we'll do actually. And it's just like a roller coaster actually, for people to be able to earn. You get products, when you check on Jumia, you realize it's so expensive. You can get it and resell to you get. And there's something we do on for our campus products. We actually give we actually do something called like campus delivery. That means you can even order products or probably up to worth of 100K and you're paying just 500 naira or 1,000 as delivery.
That's delivery.
So yeah, it's actually a model that everybody should embrace. And I don't even know if I may still think about it. I'm thinking if for people that may listen to this within the first 1 week, probably I should give to sign up on the platform is not free actually, it's 10,000 naira for 1 year. Yeah,
Okay.
and some
Yeah.
people make their 10,000 naira back within a year. What's even a
Yeah.
year? Within their first sale on the platform. We have a lot. We have gadgets. We have a lot of things on our marketplace. But I would decide that probably at the end. I'm not sure if I'm still thinking about it. If I should give a coupon, if I should release a coupon that will only work for 1 week upon release, that will grant your audience probably 25 or 50% off to register on Traffikate. But I'm still thinking about, should we do it?
Yes, so yes, so yes, so let us do it. Let us do it. Like my audience are going to be so excited about this opportunity. I'm having dropshippers on my phone as audience that are going to be so excited about this. Like this is going to be an
All right.
opportunity for them. Thank you very much for throwing
All
this
right.
out
So
to us.
since you actually want us to open it, all right. So this is what we'll do. I will release a coupon,
Okay,
probably University Life. University Life. This is important. ULP
okay,
100.
okay,
ULP 100 will be the coupon code. For the first,
okay,
it will only be on for the first 24 to 48 hours,
okay.
and it will only work for the first 10 people.
For the first 10
So if
people.
you should
Okay,
use that coupon at checkout, you are going to have 50% off your normal registration, and
50% off.
you are going to be paying just 5,000 naira. Normally, to
Okay,
register on the platform to unlock it is 10,000 naira per year, and people even make their 10,000 naira back within even a single sale. Yeah, because you get access to products that are too good to be true of being at that price. For Traffikate, for people that may hear that and say, okay, I have a collaboration, I have a partnership, I want to come as an investor, I have this and this and this and this. Okay, my mail is okay, you can shoot me a mail at Joe at trafficate.com, or send it
JOE.
to my personal mail, Joe at trafficate.com, or you send it to my personal mail at theajayijoseph.com. But you can always ask University Life Podcast for my number.
Okay.
Aside from the mail, you can get. I don't want to call my number openly.
Yes,
You get,
yes,
but you
yes,
can always ask me for my contact. Yeah, and I also operate a marketing agency where I've also been able to help over 150 brands within and outside Nigeria to
Wow.
actually scale up their sales conversion and also it's their
Their sales goals, their
sales
marketing
targets.
goals. Okay.
So
So for
alongside
people,
other things we do too.
okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. For dropshippers or people that would like to start dropshipping and would like to patronize or start selling from Traffikate, you now have access to a coupon ULP 100 for the first 48 hours after the release of this episode that you can now sign up and get 25% off the sign up fee. So,
He's saying 25%. Me, I'm giving you 50%. I'm so
oh, no, no.
generous. Just,
Okay,
well,
it's 50% off.
probably this is what we'll do. Should we do 25% for 10 people? Or we should do 50% for 5 people.
Let's do 50% for 10 people.
For 5 people.
For 10 people.
For 10 people. Okay, all right. It's good,
Thank you very
it's good.
much. Thank you very
It's
much.
welcome. And also something amazing is that once you sign up, you also get 1,500 naira instantly to
Oh,
start, like a kind of a welcome bonus to start
okay.
your top shipping journey with.
All right. Wow,
Yeah.
this is really nice. This is really nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, what advice would you give to people looking up to you, students or business people that are trying to achieve most of the things you've achieved?
Well, as I said, I've not really achieved much. I've not even started yet. But definitely, I acknowledge the fact that God has helped me in some path. God has helped me in all things. Don't let me say in some part. But when I said in all things, it's me giving him back the glory. And
Mm,
but I'm not where I want to be yet. In fact, I'm not close yet. In fact, to me, I still see myself as if I'm not doing enough yet actually. Sometimes I still blame myself, like not blaming, like sometimes
yeah,
I still see
you could have
myself
done
like
more.
I should have done more. Yeah. And I think that spirit is something everybody should actually have. Why thanking God for where you are, but still not being complacent at your stage. So it's something I think, recently I have people coming to my DM to ask the same questions and all like that. And lately, I've somehow been intentional in actually grooming people or sending VNs. I may have a very busy schedule. I remember there was a VN I sent to a junior colleague, like probably early last year or thereabout. And I think last month she still told me that sometimes when she feels down, she goes back to that 5 minutes VN
The that you've sent.
and she feel motivated back. She says whenever she's down, she just go back to that VN. That VN, I can't remember what is there again. I think I was trying to talk about academics God and some other things, and she says that it's actually, and it did it in a way because her results was not, she was trying to in a way manage things up, but I can say it's in a way helped our result actually improved. And that is I'm also talking about mindset. Your mindset is actually key, and you're actually knowing some things that works. So I've been trying to groom some people up. In fact, I have a group like that. I've been trying to in a way help some people up when I just felt led. But the only problem is that my time may be the
Yeah.
issue.
Okay.
Once I tell someone, okay, let's talk by this time, and the person is unable to actually meet it up, God sees my heart genuinely. It's not about probably someone is doing intentionally, but for the next 3 weeks, I may not be able to fix any time again.
Yeah, I can
And
understand. I
it's
can
some,
relate.
you can understand. You can understand. You can
I can
understand
relate.
how we've been on this podcast for like 2 months now. So that's actually everyone is trying to ensure they maximize their own time doing what
Yeah.
really matters. But as much as I can, I've actually been trying to actually, mentor people. Okay, when they come to or when I feel led or just checking up these people, how are you doing? How are you faring? Is there anything? And most time people want to open up. Then we talk, we discuss, and oh yeah. So for people trying to say, okay, Joseph Ajayi, God has helped him. If you've been listening from the beginning of this podcast, I have only one thing, probably 2 or 3 things. God is number 1. 2, be disciplined. 3, have a positive mindset, be consistent, and don't settle for less. Don't be complacent. Yeah.
Okay, so for my audience, I want to ask on their behalf, are you open to mentorship? Just in case somebody is motivated and needs more deep insight or needs to go deeper on some things.
Okay. Yeah, I'm open. I may be able to actually probably take a few, but the thing is, the person must understand, as I earlier said, and I'm saying this from a sense of humility,
Yes.
that my response may be somehow slow. But so far, and this is even me, if I want to get something from some guys and for some people I'm looking up to, just like that woman inside the Bible that, the judge, the stuff kept on going.
Yes.
You don't let them rest. And sometimes then this is what some people just want to check. Some people have a lot to actually give you, but sometimes you just have to sometimes being on their neck and it not take you seriously. Do you get? So for anyone actually, I'm open. You can get my number from him, or you can send me a mail, theajajoseph@gmail.com. Then we can pick things up. I'm actually open to helping people, to guiding people in pathway that I think God has helped me while I'm also still learning. I will never say I've learned it all. I will never say this and this. I'm also still learning. But if you feel there's a particular section I've mentioned that you feel, okay, you may need more guidance on it or something, yeah, we are open to actually come around. Then God will help us to actually make things. It's something I'm doing already, and I'm still open to actually meeting more people.
Okay.
Yeah, as God will help, as God will grant grace.
I think I've just learned something new from these last few things that you said. I am somebody that has this personality that when I ask you for help, advice, and you don't reply me immediately, I feel like you are busy and I just stop pestering you. So I think now I need to change that mindset to like actually persistent.
Some people are not doing it intentionally. People are not doing it intentionally. Like, people have their life. Right now, after this session, I already have like 7 things I'm meant to do for today. I have another meeting. I may have up to like 2, 3 meetings before the day runs out again. So you can understand. And I have some other deliverables I have to do per day. Before I slept yesterday, I listed a lot of things I plan to. In fact, this podcast was not even number 1 on my list. So, but still, now, I never even, I was just thinking in 1 hour we'll be done, but this is something stretching to probably 3 hours. Yeah. So, now imagine someone just coming suddenly to take 30 minutes or 1 hour of the day again. See how slimy that would be in making that like a possibility. So that's it. So people are not doing intentionally. You know what you want to get. Just keep on going. And point is, once people give you attention, you get attention for life. You get it for life. Once you get that first nod, you get it for life. So you are the one that knows what you want to get. Just keep on going. Me, I'm not like that, though. Don't think probably I will ignore you. No, but I'm just saying that there may be possibilities of responses not actually as expected. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, this brings us to the last question. Yes.
Okay.
So, now I'm asking for Christian students who are in a position of something like this and they have to surrender some things that are personal to them to other things that are prone towards the fellowship side, towards God, and towards responsibilities that are very demanding. Do you have any other experience where you have to surrender to things that are not so pleasing to you, just to let God take control and just give God the higher and
let me answer your question. There's someone I actually listen to very well, Apostle Joshua Selman, and there's something he do say. He said faith in summary is obedience, and obedience is basically surrender. So when you say you love God, we have to continually surrender, even if it's not pleasing. And that was something Abraham did actually. that God actually used to actually test his faith. And sometimes God brings some of this. In fact, it may not even be spiritual. I would answer this with a relatable story too. It may not be spiritual. That God may just want you to test. Do you love me more than these things? God might have blessed you with something, and it's requesting you to surrender that thing unto him. I'm not ready to let it go. That may be the end of the more he has in plan to give to you. Him giving you that thing is a proof, as I earlier said, that there is more to it. There's more to it actually. That there is more to whatever is blessing you with. So when God is saying, give me this, it may not be easy. So now, let me explain. So there was this period on campus. I don't want to mention when exactly. There was this period on campus, and I'm very careful with explaining it. Yeah. So there was this period on time on campus that I was so down. Things were not really going as expected. So, but there was this thing I got then that whenever I see it, that thing was still totally new. That whenever I see it, I feel so happy. I feel so glad seeing it. I feel like, okay, at least everything did not go. Do you understand? Why I'm still trying to work for more? At least there's still something that I still see that still makes me happy. So this, I don't know, probably God has seen this as something that I appreciate so much, or something that I now love so much and everything. So it happens in a place that it happened in a way that during that period, God told me that particular thing, I should take it and not give it to someone else. I should not give it to someone else, okay? That is not my own. I should not give it to someone. This thing, no, it must not be God. No, it's not God. No, it's not God. You remember how the Bible verses of, test of spirit and everything was not start actually coming. I fasted on this thing, taking probably, so I fasted, I prayed and everything, because this was so precious to me then, and I just feel this is one of the things that in a way just keep me going at that time. But probably God was trying to teach me, no, I want you to lean on my grace. My grace is so, even when you are not seeing anything, my grace is sufficient to actually lead you through in whatever situation you may be. There's a lesson God is teaching per time. Yes. It's just my prayer that God will just help us to be faithful and listen to the salient points. So it was so hard. This thing took me a lot of time. And during that time, it took me weeks. I'll be praying and that thing would actually come again. And sometimes while I was talking about you starting a business or something, there are sometimes that God wants to take it to another level. But what he actually asked of you the last time will not be the same thing he'll be asking for you for another level. I don't know if you get that.
I get. There are always
for some time,
challenges for you to
new things for you to upgrade. So it's not the same strategy that keeps working. It's not the same thing. Do you get? So God is also using that to build your faith. Assuming that did not happen, I will not be able to share this. And I strongly believe that this will actually help someone out there. Yeah. So it happened in such a way that I prayed, God, this thing will keep on coming to my mind. Whenever it comes to my mind, I'm always sad about it. And in a way affected me in a bit. So that particular time, God said I should give that thing out to that place. So it was something very hard for me. I prayed. So there was a time when I now lost my peace totally. Probably fasting some days in a week and just thinking, because I was not really so sure. And the point is, it's not about I was not sure, but I need something so strong. Do you get? So that it's not be as if I'm just losing at both ends. Because sometimes if you give without understanding, you've just done normal charity. If you are not just being with wisdom.
That's another perspective. Yes.
There's this thing inside the Bible. Let me just paraphrase it. I'm trying to remember. Give as you have been proposed in your heart. If it's not a willing thing that you propose in your heart, it will not turn to you as God showering a blessing upon you. It will just be a normal almsgiving. So it's something you should actually propose in your heart. Do you get?
Yes.
I was trying to just in a way get some kind of deep proof and everything and all in respect to that. I remember this particular time I was praying and I told God, okay, give me 2 signs. No, I said give me 3 signs, and I had a sign that okay, I asked for something to happen. I don't want to go into okay. Should I go? Should I? Okay, I asked for a particular thing to happen from 2 different, but that time I was saying for me to be double sure, so that I would not say the first one was a coincidence, the second one was a coincidence. Let it happen 3 times, and I had a voice that if this thing is happening 2 times, and if this thing is happening 2 times tomorrow, and you are not still yielding, then you are left on your own. You know, this is just where the Bible says they are left to a reprobate mind. Then I took it as a joke actually. Okay, no lady now. Let's see. Like this particular thing did not happen. Before I left for lecture in the morning, the very first one happened. Okay. Something I asked for, I don't want to go into details because the issues about going into details, when you start going to details about what you ask God for as a sign, people may actually take that as a template of what they may ask God for. So I'm always being careful about that. So, well, let me just actually is an occurrence that do not happen. Like that's the first time that thing is happening that year. So I was just discreet about what I was asking about, and because of God saw the readiness for me to do it, so it was something that it has not happened that year that I asked for. Coming from people that we've not even talked that year at all. Yeah. So I think it's just better that way. So before I left my hostel that very day, the first one happened. I did not even pay attention to it. I never paid attention to it at all. I never paid attention to it. Now, before I actually left campus, another one happened. Now, that was the two I asked for, right? That was the two I was told I would receive. I did not pay attention. You can't remember that it was later. And I remember I was so afraid. You remember this this thing, like it happened. The first one I was not conscious so that I'll not be so careful of me ensuring the second one do not happen. You understand?
Yes.
So God will actually make me actually realize it's happening. So it was later I was able to call. You can remember I had to call these people back to ask them, has this thing happened before this year? And they told me. In fact, the very first person, it was a mistake. The person had to apologize later that it was not me. She meant to do that thing too. But God has his own way. Do you understand?
Yes.
To why it's a mistake, but to God it was not a mistake. You know, this is someone that we have not talked. She said she wanted to call another Joseph in our school, and she called my own number. And to her, she said it was a mistake. The number you've not called by mistake from your part 1 to part 3. How did that happen? So there's some mysteries. There are some mysteries that we know that. So when the second one happened, I realized it has happened and everything. Because of how precious this thing was for me, I packaged this thing because I was out of my peace. I packaged this thing. At the point of giving it to that person, I could not remove it from my back. It was so hard on me. The very first time, most people will not go into details with things, but they will just say, I thank God I was able to surrender and everything, and to paint it as if it's something very easy. Do you get? Yeah. I took it back home. I could not drop it though. It was not easy. I took it back home. I took another days to pray and everything. I can't remember, but I think me taking it to school happened twice without me being able to drop it. Yeah. But I remember there was a day I just summoned courage up with God's grace and prayers. I dropped it. And when this person was very happy. I was like, in my own, I was like, God. Do you understand? I was like, well, it's okay. But now this is the catch. This is the catch, and this is the beauty of the whole story I'm trying to say, that when we surrender to God, God has a better plan. God has a better. You won't. Okay, now even aside that, God pointed to two of those things I had that were lower versions, and He said I should still give those ones two out. I did. That one too. They were not easy, but I did. Of that particular thing as well. You can't remember. You can't believe that particular one I gave out here. It has a version. I don't want to say specifically what it is. It has a version which I love so much. In fact, that particular version I've not used it before. Yeah, you can't believe that. With a price of 1, God gave me 3 back. So 1. If I go into details, you with a price of 1, God gave me 3 back. When God said I would restore beauty for your ashes. Remember, I gave 3 out, but only 1 was the best version, which I've not even used. God gave me better versions of the one I even gave out, and He gave me back with 3. So, for someone that may be listening to this, please, it may not be easy. You know, I was so practical. It may not be easy, but it's surrender to God. Surrender to Him. Another instance which I had also was when I was in part 2. There was I don't know if I've taken so much time.
Continue. Yes, you can continue.
Okay, all right. So another instance I have again was while I was in part two. There was this thing I paid for. There was this thing I paid for and everything. And all. It was I don't want to mention the name because I don't want it to sound as temptation for some other people. In fact, till today people are getting any money from it. So I paid for it with my own normal mind. Then I was not exposed to things that way. So the person that taught us, I think as back as 2018, made from 400k. And you know how 400k sounded then
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I think the dollar rate then was around 300 thereabout. So it was like a huge money, making 400k. It was like huge spending then. So, but the point is, I was already making money too. I was already making money, but I lost my peace. I got to fellowship, I was unable to pray. In fact, someone realized and said, you did not pray in fellowship unlike usual. I could not open up to her, but I was able to open up to and a friend of her, which they are both elder called Abby. They were seniors. Yeah, let me use that word. They were maybe for that final year. So I was able to open to her, and she encouraged me and everything. And yeah, I knew I was going to stop that thing. It was very hard. That was just like me saying a sure source of money that I've seen even though it was illegal then, but I lost my peace. I had to surrender to God. And I can tell you, God can be trusted. God has been faithful. So surrendering to God is like obedience, it's like faith, it's like obedience. And the more we do it, the more of God we see. The more of God we see. And it's not something easy that you surrender now do not mean you've born into that atmosphere of a total surrender. It's something we also keep working on every day. And I pray God will continue to help me, God will continue to help everyone. And wherever we may be in this situation presently, your surrendering may even be a restitution, your surrendering maybe something that God wants you to give out.
Can come in
God may be
different
using to
ways.
test you. Yeah, God may be using to test you. Your surrendering may even be you picking up that responsibility for God, you doing that thing for your department, you doing this. Whatever you want to do, ensure that you are doing it to represent Christ. Show God the more. Represent Christ. There are people that their knowledge of Christ has faded off. One of the missions as a witness is go and represent Christ to them. But if we are not yielded, this will be hard to do. Yeah, sorry, I took so much time explaining that.
It's fine actually. I'm enjoying this conversation with you, seriously. I'm enjoying this so much. And if you permit me, I also want to share like one of my experiences with giving out when you don't feel like it. Giving out something when you don't have much is something that is not so easy. I have this particular experience. There was this day I was going to school and I don't really have much on me. So I just decided not to take bike that day and decided to walk to school. And on my way to school, I met this guy from my hostel, and it was like a big guy approaching me and telling him that please he needs some money, has not eaten since morning. And I just had to give him everything in my hand that day because I was like, for this guy to approach me, knowing that he's a big guy, there must be something serious. After transferring the money to him that day, I just couldn't stop thinking about it that I could have taken bike and I would have had something left with me. So I just kept on thinking I should have taken bike. I should have taken bike instead. Like I wouldn't have met this guy. But since I've already met him and he already approached me, there was nothing I could do. So I just had to like for him to approach me there must be a lot. If we are being honest, when we give out, we actually receive multiple of what we've given out. Before that week ended, I was just walking to somewhere and somebody called me. I was like, Alpha, follow me, come and collect this. And if you cannot believe me, what I collected that day was what much more than what I actually gave out to that guy. Like it's just like givers never lack. When you give out, you are going to definitely receive. So I really love your story, honestly. I really love your story. It's practical and it's so practical. Like a lot of people are going through different phases like this, and the funny thing is that we don't really have the medium to share it so that other people are going to listen. So I'm so happy that yeah, sharing this with us here. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us. It has been an amazing time. It has been very amazing spending time with you here. So let's move on. Earlier you said something about when you have an idea, you must be able to sell it shamelessly. And when it comes to online, selling shamelessly has a lot of things involved. And you might be, I don't want my friend to say I'm now doing this. I don't want my friend to to see me this way. And everything boils down to confidence. How does someone gain confidence? Because I've when I wanted to start this podcast, I had a lot of confidence issue. I could not tell people about it. I could not invite people to. Now I'm still having problem inviting people, and I'm scared of collaboration. It's just a whole lot of. So let's say I'm having this problem of confidence. Can you advise me on what to do and how to become better at approaching it?
Okay, all right. So someone towards my DM also asked me this question about how can they build confidence. Yeah. If I also say it's God now, you would say, this guy is saying too much. Yeah. It's God, definitely. I'm not, I will never shy off from saying that. But still, as I said, life is governed by some principles. Yeah. So,
Yes.
in building your confidence, probably in being ruthless in what you are doing. See, this is once you understand this thing I'm about to say, you would not be ashamed of whatever you want to do. You know, there are some people that, in fact, I know people that their life is all sorted out. The grade they graduate with is none of their business. Their visa will be done within months once they are done. There are companies of their parent or generational stuff that is already waiting for them to come
Waiting
and
for
occupy.
them.
No, we hear some of these things and we think it's just might. No, I've met people like that. They don't care about what they're graduating with. Even if they graduate with a third class, they are still going to be the managing director of their father's
Business
company.
company.
Now, if you're not the type of a person that have such a privilege, in fact, people that have such a is a plus. So, and that's one of the things. It's not something, it's not something I would actually talk down. Never. That I don't have the opportunity do not mean probably I will
Yes.
talk down on
Talk
like
down.
that.
Yeah.
No. It's something we are all trying to ensure we pass down to our children. God helping us.
Amen.
Yeah.
It's very essential.
So when you realize that, but our children will be diligent, though not. Alright. So when you realize that life has already been unfair from day one, it takes you to go extra mile to make it fair
Hmm.
for yourself, and the power to make it fair for yourself is only in your hands. You are responsible for the results you manifest. Someone will say that you are a resultant of the decisions you are making. So when you need to be this self-confidence. You should have something that is pursuing you. You should have a drive. You should have a focus. When you don't have someone will say focus on your focus so it can be a focus too. Focus on your focus so it can be a focus. Do you
Wow.
get? You must have something driving you. You must have aim. You must have your objective. Well, you must have what you want to achieve in life. If you don't have it, you just be living life. Joshua Selman would always say something that one day go better is a sociological comforting statement that produce no results. In this
Hmm.
Nigeria, some people still have the mindset that Nollywood has actually painted in such a way that one day you will just meet one helper
I
that
mean,
will just give you 1 million naira, or that will just dash you.
you see money inside bush.
You get, there was a time I posted that thing on my status, and you can't imagine. Now, this is whenever I post stuff like that on my status, I have people who confide things in me. You can't imagine uh people that are grown actually telling me that has been their mindset about life, and that has been, until lately it's changed, and they were using their voice to now amplify, so I can post it on my status, just to encourage some other people too that
People.
may be in there too. Do you get that?
Yes.
That has been their mindset about life. That one day, and your destiny ever will just come and everything will change. Yeah, that may happen, and it does happen. Probably to the 1% of the one. Sorry. You may have to cut that. It only happens to probably the 1% of the 1%. It's not something
Hmm.
that happens to everybody. But why now risk your life on being that 1% of the one
1%.
1%? You get, why risk your life? Your life is so valuable for you to be risking it on
Something that
probability.
something that might never happen.
Something that might never happen. So when you have all this your mindset, those are the things that will build your confidence with God too. There are low self-esteem, there's this and everything, but it all starts from here. And low self-esteem is something emotional intelligence, low self-esteem, those things are something that can be discussed for 1-2 hours again. Those ones are separate things. But self for me, your self-confidence should start from you. Okay, let me put an example of myself. My dad used to be a bank manager. My dad got 2 cars before I clocked 2, but I lost him while I was 6. See how unfairly life changed. So she will let her rest on my house and on my hours, and I feel like no, something was. You have to make it happen. If life can be unfair to anybody, do you get? In fact, generally life is unfair generally, but you must build that confidence. You must have a goal. You know, when you have a projection, when you have somewhere you are going, and you must be consistent. It won't happen overnight. It will never happen overnight. If it's happening overnight, it's a short-term goal. But if you want something long term, it takes time, you take consistency, and don't settle for less. So I feel if you can sit and analyze all these things, you'll be able to build up your confidence. Should not come from something someone is saying, it should come from something from inside your mind. Because there will be sometimes you'll be depressed, there will be sometimes everything will have to turn to zero. But your confidence will be strong and be strong in God. And that's where God actually comes in. That's where God comes in. And everything, don't lose you may lose happiness, but don't lose joy. You know, the Bible says joy is a fetcher. With joy we draw from the wells of salvation. There's a lot of goodies that salvation brings to you. But once you lose your joy, you will not be able to draw from the goodies salvation tends to bring to you. So one thing Satan to do is to actually steal our joy. Actually giving you probably also making you feel you are not up to something, reducing your self-confidence. And that's the way you entertain fear. But God has not given us the spirit of what? Spirit of fear, but that of a strong mind. That strong mind is something you need, that huge confidence, and it starts from, let me just recap the mindset, everything I've said, and also with God. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Like I think I have a lot to pick from every single thing we've discussed in this episode. Like I have a lot to pick. My jotting paper is already full. My jotting paper is already full. Thank you very much. Like this is so much appreciated.
You're welcome, my Oga. Thank you.
This is what people would have missed if eventually we didn't do this. God. Wow. Okay. So, lastly, the school has scam issue. Okay. So, school has scam. A lot of students have this perspective that I think is now called, when I was making my research about it, it is called survivorship bias, where people focus more on the 1% that are possible and leave out the multitude of failed attempts. So students feel like if Mark Zuckerberg and other people can be successful in life without formal education, then why waste their money on going to school? And they leave out the aspect of other people that might have dropped out and are facing the consequences now. So what is your opinion on this topic, and what advice will you tell students, especially those that are just finishing JAMB, that are having this type of mindset that school is not so important or school is not necessary in this present Nigeria?
Well, okay, all right. I love the fact that you say the present Nigeria, not in this present world. Because when you're trying to compare the like of Zuckerberg to us, we do not have the same education they have. We don't have the same opportunity they have. We do not have the same orientation. We do not share the same orientation in their country. You can't be comparing school as scam in US to school as scam in Nigeria. It's two different ball game. The opportunities that are there are still sufficient to make you scale through, regardless. So far you have the right mindset. But you pulling out from school here, and also let me categorize this thing. School is not like probably a yardstick from you being successful in life.
Yes.
School may not be important, but it's necessary. Yeah. School may not be so important, but it's so necessary. I can tell you, I was saying the other time that university is universe in the city. The experiences you get from your campus that launches you to the outside world, and those are the things that actually motes you up. And also, for me, school is never a scam, actually. School is never a scam. School has never been a scam. School will never be a scam. It's also unfortunate that the schooling system we have in Nigeria may not be as what we expect. But if I say school as scam, but we have a lot of people traveling from Nigeria over there. School in Nigeria may seem as a scam. Why? The opportunity is not there. The job opportunity is not there. The guarantee that once you finish school, there's a job is not there and everything. So that's the reason people just term it as school is a scam. But for real, school has never been a scam. Okay, school may be regarded as a scam, I don't know, but education is never a scam. I think I should say that education is never a scam. Some of the people that you see that are building things up, there's this, I've been talking about mindset since. There's this mindset education gives you
Yeah.
that actually prunes your thinking, that actually prunes the way you do things, that actually prunes your perspective to life. And that's what really, there are people that they will say you pass through school, school did not pass through you.
Pass through you, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
There are instances like that. But when it comes to education is never a scam. Please take your education, and if there's something that actually gave me energy then while I was in school, whenever I go back home, my mom would ask me, hope your business is not affecting your academics and everything. And a very big shout out to my mom. She did not for once discourage me for going to my business and all. One of the things that motivates me then was that I do tell her that it's my academics. So that's the reason I try to actually do more academically. That motivates me to do more. Yeah. All right. So if there's something school does, as I earlier said, is your mindset, and it helps to prune your mindset very well. And also school is just more than just the school. Some people collaborate with people right from school, build very nice products, build very nice brands from school, and it's an opportunity to leverage on a lot of opportunities to actually see worlds in a different dimension. And as I earlier said, it's unfortunate that the schooling system we have in Nigeria may make it time like school is scam, but we still have a lot of Nigeria leaving Nigeria to go and study abroad. And these same people, although we know there's this mentality that people are not really jackpotting for school, people are just jackpotting to have a new way of life actually. But still, some people, I know about people that are doing research work. I have a friend, his elder brother is actually into research. He's a very great guy. He's a pharmacy student. He's a very great guy. We have people that really love studying. Do you understand? So yeah. I don't even know if I answered this question very well. Since this is the least one I answered well. You just remove it, or I should come again.
No, this is nice. This is very okay. One of the posts I saw about education and concerning this thing is that the main essence of education is to replace an empty mind with an open mind. And I think that's what education does.
Yeah. And also, actually, I can say this. There are some opportunities you'll not be able to apply for without school, for real. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go into details of some things actually, but
yes,
they are like in the Nigeria we can't be comparing Nigeria with US. In the Nigeria we are right now, you are in a way disadvantaged only if you have a craft that you know very well, you have something that you know very well. But it's unfortunate that people not capitalize on it because there are a lot of people that attend school and they are not getting jobs and they end up going into and they end up learning under people that don't even go to school. The people say school has come. Whereas neglecting someone that is earning over 2 million per month in the 9-to-5 jobs, neglecting someone, and also the introduction of tech too. I've applied for jobs and they never asked me for what did you graduate with in school. Even though I have 4 point something, they never asked me. Do you understand? But I would not have been able to apply for those roles if do you understand? And my mindset will not even open me. My shallow mindset without school will not even open my mindset to such an opportunity. So school does more than just teaching. It prunes your mindset. And for whoever is about writing jams or whoever is thinking of dropping out, I'm not against you dropping out, actually, if you feel you find a defined path. But if not, even if you find okay, I read something about Yamal. I think he plays for Barca. I'm not a football player, but I read it this morning. This guy, we know about Rashford too. This guy is currently in the Euros playing for Spain, and he said he's actually working on his assignments, that he has online classes to attend, that he hopes his teacher will not suspend him. And these are people that have gone to the Hall of Fame. Do you understand? So school is never a scam. School is not a scam. School will not remain a scam. Education is not a scam. Let me just say that education is not a scam. And just go through it. Go through the system. Go through you, but ensure that you get what is expected to make you our own living, to actually give you that refined mindset about life, to open your eyes to opportunities,
Our
and
position
also school
you
is
in
never a
places.
scam,
Yeah.
to places, to experiences, to people. So I'm not even talking about the learning this
Aspect of
part
it.
way now. And another thing where people it for real, the issue where guys people see it as scam is because they work, they leave school, there's no work, there's no
Yeah.
job. They
Yeah.
tend to work under people that did not go to school. So they even say the BSc you have, the ND, the HND you have is even a scam. Do you get? But the point
Yeah.
is, see, when you are in school, don't
There
just be
are
in school for school only.
there are
And if
opportunities in
there's
school.
yeah, but if if there's one regret I can say I have while schooling is because I did not join organizations in schools. And I want to encourage anybody hearing this, join it, like collaborate with people. You want to actually connect with people, build quality relationship from campus, build quality relationship from campus. Start something. Don't wait when you are done with school, when you are done with NYC, before you start thinking what should I do.
It's going to be
Start
too
from
late.
school. It is more easier to start from school. You can easily find people, you can easily collaborate together while working towards the aim. But once you are after school, everybody wants a pay. Do you get? Everybody
Yeah.
and it's very hard for you to strive. And other people is giving funding right now. It's very hard for you to. But if you've been able to strive for something, the economy we are here in Nigeria is not something that guarantees jobs for everybody. In fact, I even learned lately that that's one of the reasons NYC was even introduced. And some people should I say protested against it then, that NYC was introduced because they feel Nigeria will not be able to give jobs to everybody again. And they just introduced that just as a scam, just to place them on allowance for 1 year, and after that they are left on their own. So UI and OU students protested against it. And that's the reality actually. And
Wow. That's something I
see,
never actually
I've
thought of.
I've been on a bike before, and someone that graduated from, don't let me mention the school, someone that graduated from like one of the top 5 schools in Nigeria told me he graduated from that school. And I don't even think he finished less than with 2-2. I'm being serious. And he's a bike rider. So those are the instances people say and see schools is scam. But people just go to school to learn alone. There are other things that makes education not a scam. After school you should have been refined in your mind. You should have started something worthwhile, and also you should have found relationship. Relationship is a key. You don't have to buy everything with money.
Yeah.
Relationship is also a key. And when I'm talking about relationship now,
Social
I'm not talking about love or
Yes.
private plan. I'm talking about moving with,
Social
connecting with
wealth.
people.
Yes.
Okay. So those are the opportunities that you can't find on the street. Those are the opportunities that you can't find somewhere else, but you can find in school. There are schools that exposes you to. So school, the structure, the system may be a scam, but education itself is not a scam. Because it's an avalanche of opportunities. It exposes you to a lot of things that you would normally not just find elsewhere, actually commonly. Yeah, I think that's all. And I hope I was able to answer your question.
Of course, yes, you were. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving us so much of your time. I think we've spent 3 hours now. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know it was going to be so long. Thank you very much.
Actually.
Thank you. We really appreciate your presence here, and it's been a very big opportunity for us to listen to your experience. This is so amazing. Thank you very much. And I
You're
hope,
welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, go on.
and I hope that if we have other sessions of topics that might interest you, maybe business related and starting a business in school, maybe we can reach out to you.
Yeah, sure.
That's if you are free, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on University Life Podcast. Thank you very much, and I do hope this would actually help someone out there listening to this. I really want to believe, because I shared some things I've not even shared with anybody, I've not even shared openly rather. Yeah. So I really do hope this would help, and I really do hope you'll be able to gain one or two things from here.
Yes.
And as the earlier said, if you need further clarifications, you can get my number from him, or you can shoot me an email, theajayijoseph@gmail.com.
Yes.
Or you can connect me on Twitter, Joseph Ajayi _ Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody.
For the coupon as well, ULP 100 for
ULP 100 for the first. I think we agreed on 50% for 5 or 10.
10 people.
10. All right. So
yes.
Split for 10, and we have to go liars with my team, but we'll be able to put that to. But that will not be forever. Probably for 24 to 48 hours. Yeah. So for Traffikate, CRAFFIKATE.com.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much,
much.
everybody.
Thank you
It's
very
nice
much.
being on this session.
So much
My name is Joseph Ajayi, and
nice
see you on the
to
next one.
nice
Bye.
to have
Thank
you
you.
here with us.
And I really do hope people will find this interesting. People will
Yes,
learn a lot from this,
yes.
and they'll be able to apply this in their stuff. And I do hope people that have been on my neck, when is your this thing actually coming out? I'm sorry it took this long. Now this is it. The food is ready. We've cooked. It's ready. And if you are listening to this part, I want to believe you've listened to the end, and I want to believe you enjoyed it. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye. A friend actually came to my DM and asked when it was going to be ready.
Wow. I have
So
people, in fact, I had to come to your DM again to say, please, we just need to do this. It was like, it was already turning to, I will promise this, it will not still work. I will promise this, it will not, because of my time. So to people, it see me as if probably I don't want to do it or something. So I just have to say, please, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let me just take it off my table.
guys, this is it though. This is it. This is the session we've had with Tolu Ajayi. I hope every one of us enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it from the interview to the editing to the production and everything. I enjoyed it so much, and I hope you guys do. I know I've been off this podcast space for a while. That's because of school and some personal reasons, but now I'm going to make you a promise that after this episode, I'm going to be releasing an episode every week like I used to do before. Trust me, this is going to be very amazing. To our new audience joining us for the first time, we say a big welcome to you. Thank you for joining our community. If you have not subscribed, please do. And of course, you can share this podcast with your friends and family. Tell them what we do here. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can scroll back to our previous episodes and check out what we've been doing before now. So ciao guys, and I'll see you next week. Definitely I'll see you guys next week for another inspiring episode. I cannot promise an interview episode. I cannot promise an interview episode for now, but I'll definitely drop an episode like usual. I'll drop an episode. So until then, bye bye, have a wonderful week. I remain Emerald Olaoye.